Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, so it's time for my weekly update, the What I'm Reading Wednesday. Now, this week, not going to be terribly different than last week because now that I'm back in school, the amount of time that I have to read has drastically decreased. I am getting through more audiobooks though, so I recently just finished up Huckleberry Finn, or The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, which is a book that's on my 50 before 50 list. So I was able to go through that, and I'll talk more about that later. But I am still reading the same books that I mentioned in last week's video. So just to update you if you didn't see that one, I am reading The Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. I am currently 359 pages, and there are 498. So we have just about 130 pages left. For those of you that are not familiar, this is the story of 5 boys that grew up in Indiana in the 1960s. And on the last day of school, one of their classmates goes missing. And they are trying to investigate what happened to him. They think, and his sister thinks, that somebody killed him. All of the grown-ups in town think he ran away. And juxtaposed with that, there's a lot of mysterious things happening. There's a lot of tragedies that are taking place. Some pretty scary stuff happens in this book. And I'm just at the part where the boys realize something is happening in town, and they've come to the realization that the grown-ups are not going to be able to help them, and so they have to band together to figure it out on their own. There's been a lot of comparisons between this book and Stephen King's It. I have not read It yet. I did just grab a copy of it at the used bookstore, but this book has been incredible. It has been such a wild ride, and I am enjoying it immensely. There are, like I said, there are some tragedies and there are some really heartbreaking moments in this book. So if you have not checked this out, Summer of Night by Dan Simmons, definitely give this a read. This book is phenomenal. I'll probably talk more about it in another video. In addition to that, I am also still working my way through The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This is kind of a family drama. There is a very rich family called the Van Laars, I think that's how you pronounce it, and their daughter Barbara went missing from her summer camp. And this is not the first time that one of their children has gone missing. And this story has kind of back and forth. There's multiple perspectives. There's multiple characters that are telling their story. And it kind of bounces back and forth from like the 60s to 1975 and so on. I am not nearly as far in this book. I am currently on page 133, primarily because I'm so caught up in Summer of Night that this book kind of gets pushed to the side. But I am hoping to finish this very soon. Once I finish Summer of Night, I'll have more time to focus on this one. And because I like to have more than one book going at a time, as evidenced by the fact that I'm reading those, I was at the library the other day and I picked up this book right here, Fright Watch. This is the first book in that series. This is The Stitchers by Lorian Lawrence. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know a great deal about this. I think it takes place in Chicago, and there's a girl who is trying to figure out why people that live on her street never seem to get any older. It's the first book in a trilogy, and I've heard really good things. If you've watched any videos on my channel before, you know how I feel about spooky books for middle grade spooky books. That's a good way to say it. And this is a trilogy. I love trilogies because it's great that it enables you to flesh out the story. So once I finish Summer of Night, this one is going to be next up on my list. I mentioned at the beginning, I just finished The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn on audiobook, so I don't really know what my next audiobook is going to be, but I will definitely be picking one up and starting that on Friday when I go back to work. I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday that's sadly keeping me out of school during the first week. So I'll be picking a new book for my commute beginning Friday morning. But there you are. That is my weekly What I'm Reading Wednesday update. If you've stuck with me this far, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Every video that you watch, whether it's mine or another creator, is helping them to accrue watch hours. And right now, so many creators are trying to earn the 4,000 watch hours that are needed to help them reach the milestone of getting into the YouTube Partner Program. So whether it's one of my videos or it's another small booktuber that you watch, every video you watch is helping us get a little closer to that, and I greatly appreciate you doing that. So leave down in the comments, as always, leave down in the comments what it is that you're reading, or if you have read any of the books that I mentioned. Love to have conversations about these books. Thankful for the community that we are building here. I'm gonna put some videos somewhere on either side of my head so that you can check out other things that have been going on this channel. And as always, my name is Jonathan. This is Mr. Pearson Talks Books, and I'll see you in the next video.